Yo, get in, chop.
I'm a bit self-aware, sometimes it's fucked up, but life is gonna lie, so I ain't gonna slow up. I'm on a mission to change the face of mental health, kicking knowledge to my people, cause you know that health is wealth. It's your lucky day, cause you tuned into the greatest. Out here striving to survive, sometimes we fake it till we make it. If your mental health is slipping, then please don't touch that dial. Go and grab a cup of tea, cause we gon' be here. Yo, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Trudy LPC, and thank you for tuning into this week's episode of the Self-Aware and Up podcast. Thank you for all of the support that you guys have been pouring in. The season is going well so far, and I can't wait to speak with today's guest. I've known this young lady since we were like middle school, high school age, but I'm really looking forward to getting to know a little bit more about her as an adult. Her name is Tomorrow Jenkins. She is the co-owner of A Touch of Grace, as well as the co-founder of the Get in Line dance company. She is the author of Note to Self, Note to Y'all journal, as well as a community advocate philanthropist. She does a lot in the community back in our area of Troup County. And so without further ado, please welcome to the Self-Aware and Up podcast, Tomorrow Jenkins. Hey, Tomorrow. How you doing?
What's up, guys? I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. It's been an interesting day thus far, but I kind of grounded myself so we can go ahead and just dive on into it. I'm grateful to have you on the show. Again, interested in learning a little bit more about what you do and why you do what you do. So can we go ahead and start by having you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Again, my name is Tomorrow Jenkins. I'm from the great little city of Hogansville, Georgia. Graduated from Callaway High School. As you can see, I also went to Auburn University. As well as DeVry University and Keller Graduate School of Business. So education, they done threw all the books at me that they could throw up title on them, hit them back. I am a mother of one. My daughter, London, who's in the 8th grade. Here, we actually reside in Gwinnett, Georgia. So left the country and actually came back to the country because we're on the outskirts of the city, city area of Atlanta, of course, north of Atlanta. Worked with Verizon. I've been with this company for 19 years, and it has been a roller coaster. We'll talk a little bit about that later.
Okay.
And then in 2013, with the help of my niece, Dominique, I formed A Touch of Grace. A Touch of Grace has been in business for 12 years now. Started as an accessory business, but then kind of turned it more into a philanthropist business where we help high school seniors. We do a lot of volunteering with back to school drives, nursing home, whatever it is. We try to step in the gap and help our community. A member of St. Mary United Methodist Church in Hogansville, as well, because I have a church up here too, Berean Christian Center, here in Gwinnett. So, fun loving. I love to have fun. I love to smile. I found my love back for dance. I used to choreograph for St. Mary United Methodist Church God Grace Dance Ministry, GGD4L, for 20 years. So dance has never left me. It's always been a part of me. And that's something that actually makes me happy. Been a cheerleader all my life. And I just do a little bit of everything. So I just try to be a positive ball of energy anywhere I go.
Gotcha. Well, you are definitely that. I can feel all the positivity through the screen and definitely appreciate your energy because it sounds like you really have a heart for giving. That's one of the things that's kind of stood out for me, you know, with kind of seeing you on social media and a lot of the things that you're involved in. How did you become like this great motivator and cheerleader for others?
I think it came from when I was a little girl. I always loved to cheer. I always love to cheer other people on. But I'm competitive though. Let me make sure I make that clear. I played sports all my life. Attest to my parents, my mom, and my dad. My mom was my first, well, not really my first coach, but she was one of my first coaches. Following my sister, following in their footsteps, older friends, family friends. I always wanted to do things that they were doing. So in order to do that, I had to follow, their guidelines, their rules. And one thing my mom and my dad always taught us is if you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say nothing at all. And don't get me wrong. Sometimes I say stuff, right? Sometimes we do say stuff, but in essence, I try to turn it into a positive way. After I probably give you my negative, we gonna figure it out and see how we can make it positive. It's helped me at work. It's helped me with relationships. Some, let me say some. I can't say all because we've all been through things. But I feel like there's always light at the end of the tunnel. So regardless of what storm you're going through, regardless of what situation you have going on, there's always going to be, you can always make it a positive outcome. So that's why I call myself like the life cheerleader, because at the end of the day, it ain't that bad.
Yeah.
It ain't that bad. So how do we make sure that we understand that concept of it's not that bad, and how can we make it better?
Yeah. Absolutely. We all have to look for that silver lining, and it's always there, but it can sometimes feel a little bit bleak at times when you feel like you can't come out of it, or you don't have someone in their life, like a cheerleader like you. That can be a lot for people to kind of take on, but it sounds like you kind of had coaches and guidance from the beginning to really help shape you and mold you into who you are today.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I always tell my friends, and they know this, and I'm going to make sure they have the link, is that if you can't figure it out, you got somebody there to help you figure it out. Because somebody always needs someone to talk to. And I'm not a counselor by no means.
Okay.
Look, I'm not a counselor by no means, but let's talk through it together, because 2 brains and 3, 4, 5 brains work better than one. So before you take that step to do something that you ain't got no business doing, not me. Find that person you can talk to. And for my friends, my family, whoever, they know that they can reach out to me, and I'll be that motivator and that sound mind, because sometimes we don't have that. And knock again to myself. Sometimes we don't have that. So I try to be that person for most people.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you give a lot to the community, because for some reason, I thought you were in LaGrange because you do a lot of events in LaGrange. Lot of people do. So I was like, girl, listen, I live closer to LaGrange than you do. And you driving down there. I was like, look, I can't make that trip. So what inspires you to want to give back so much? Because that is a big commitment to be in a place like Gwinnett and then driving back and forth to Chute County to do so much for the community.
Talk that talk. Yeah, it is a lot on me and my little Honda, but
okay.
I've seen it all my life with my parents. Again, we stay in a small trailer, and we had 50 people in our trailer, right? All of them were not my brothers and sisters. All of them were not my aunts and uncles. So to understand that it doesn't matter if you can lend a helping hand, if you have the ability to help. That's kind of what got me driven by that. My dad still does this to the day, and he'll be 80 this year. So to even see him keep dedicating himself to help others is what makes and drives me. And my mom too, but I like to talk about my dad, because he's the one, he gonna get in that truck and he gonna go.
Okay.
So to see him do that, and to see my mother in the same, continue to try to help, continue to try to be an advocate for the community, it drove me to do the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So my parents are my key. They are like the beginning of Tomorrow Jenkins being who she is.
Yeah. Gotcha. So you do a lot. You give a lot. I want to know a little bit of a backstory about what led you to kind of start A Touch of Grace, because that's something you said how long has that been in business?
12 years. We're still doing this. So we do have a website. We still sell the accessories. So my niece, I got to talk about her. She was like, Auntie, you always come up with stuff and you're always stylish. So let's do a family business. And we started off with just making earrings. Just making earrings. I always have earrings in my ear.
Okay.
So I never go anywhere without a pair of earrings. And I was like, okay. So we started making the button earrings. And like I mentioned earlier, we're big into sports. And I was like, okay, well, ain't nobody doing sport earrings. And we at the football game, I'm a big Falcon fan. Of course, I got my Auburn t-shirt on now. Went to Auburn University. I love any sport. Anything with a ball. It could be, we're into pickleball now. So anything with a ball, we're down for it. And cheering and whatever. So we start making the earrings, and then we start bringing in other accessories, bracelets. Sunglasses is probably our biggest one. And then I start researching waist beads, because I just love I'm gonna be real. The sensuality of it, right? Mm-hmm. It makes you feel sexy. It makes you feel fashionable. And then once I started learning, I got into the spirituality of it, learning how it came from Africa, learning why did they use them, learning that married women kind of show their beads to say, hey, you know what time it is, man. So there are a lot of things that actually tie into me starting the waist beads and starting the different things. And everything has a meaning to it. Mm-hmm. Everything has a meaning to it. So my sunglasses, I call it the Shady Collection, right? Okay. And for each brand or each model that I have, I actually honor a Black famous person, whether it's an actor, actress, singer, rapper. Mm. With my waist beads, I only get them from Africa. If I don't make them myself, I only get them from Africa. Okay. Because that's where it originates from. So I have a vendor out of Ghana that I use. I've been using her for years. And if I don't personally make the beads, I only get them for her. Wow. So everything has an actual meaning to it. With the accessories, I haven't did the earrings in a while because I shifted and most of the business stuff is going towards my daughter. Mm-hmm. So I'm more of let me help take care of everything, manage finances and stuff and everything else she sells. But now she's into customized. She loves making stuff customized for people because she's like, why do you want something like somebody else? Gotcha. Make it yours. She's very, I guess you can say, territorial. She wants it to be hers. Okay. So she's like, okay, I want people to feel like it belongs to them. I didn't just make this for me to get money. I want them to understand that this belongs to them. So I think with that, just going into business, we want people to feel good. I'm big on customer service. I've been with Verizon for 20 years, started on phones. I'm really big on customer service. I don't care what you do or who you are. And that's the foundation of a touch of grace. Making sure that we handle the customer, making sure that we make them feel how we want to feel. If you, when you walk outside and you feel sunshine, how do you feel? You kind of feel good, right? When it's raining, you don't have that same feeling as when you feel sunshine. So we want to bring sunshine to every customer that we have. Gotcha. So you just got business at the core of who you are. You said you did get a degree in business from Auburn, right? And so Auburn was education. Business started at DeVry. Okay. I started working at Verizon, and hats off to Verizon because they teach you everything you need to know to run a business. If you work for Verizon, you should be able to run a business. They teach you everything you need to know. Okay. But I didn't have the papers behind it, the degrees, certifications. Verizon pays for that. Okay. So took advantage of corporate tuition assistance, got both my business bachelor's and business master's through the Brian Keller Graduate School as well. And it has taken off. I've been able to do so many things within the company, but it has also helped formulate me going into being charitable, me going into making sure both me and my daughter understand financial literacy, because it doesn't start at the child. It starts with the parent. It starts with the adult. And some of us as adults, and I can attest to it, I haven't understood money long. Some of us as an adult, we don't do well with money. Okay. So that's something that it has taught me as well. It's also helped me with networking with others because I do love working with other people. I've met people all over the world, just off of Verizon as well as my business. I have a Rolodex of people that I know I can go to that I trust. If I can make a business connection, they know that I need you to be 100% because not only is your name on it, but my name is on it as well. And if you mess up my connection, then I can't do business with you again. So I'm on the scene. They call me the plug because whatever you need, I'm pretty sure I know somebody who can give it to you. Okay. Well, I might need to get a connect. Yes, I have plenty. I have plenty. And they're ready to work, you know, They're ready to work. So. Yeah. I love that. I love the core, you know, like how sometimes our passion for life kind of leads us where we're supposed to go. Like you started at Verizon and it opened so many other doors for you in terms of connections. And
not everybody gets that on the job. There's a lot of jobs out here. You just go and you just give them your life and you don't get anything out of it.
It's been a roller coaster. I will say, I love roller coasters. It's been a roller coaster. So I've had my ups, I've had my downs. Honestly, to be honest with you, I've been there 19 years. Within the last 5 years has been an up for me. Mm-hmm. So you got to think that's 14 years prior.
Yeah.
19 years is a long time to dedicate to anything. Let's just be clear. Like 19 years is a long time. I've had situations, I guess this is probably going into my fucked up, right? Had situations where you think that you're doing the right thing, but you're not doing the right thing. And you're trying to help others. I've been skeptical on helping others. So when I do help others, it's a reason. It's always strategic. However, it put me in a depression mode. I had just had my daughter. It was around the time she's 14. Remember, 14 years.
Right.
I just had my daughter. And everything from home to work was beating me down.
Yeah.
Mentally, physically, emotionally, all the leads that you can think of, I was being beat down. But again, you have to give yourself grace. That was probably the best advice I got 5 years ago. Give yourself grace, because I wouldn't do that. I had to be it. I had to do this. I had to do that. And sometimes I still feel that way. But for the last 5 years, I have given myself grace.
Gotcha.
5 years is still a baby, right?
Yeah.
I'm still a baby and learning how to be gracious with myself.
Yeah. Why do you think that was such a big challenge for you to be and give yourself grace? Because you give it to so many other people.
It's crazy, right? In most cases, I feel that I can do more, but I have a wall that's built up where I just won't break through it. So what I mean by that is, you know how you have self-doubt. I had a lot of self-doubt. It doesn't seem like that when you see me on the social medias, when you see me doing things, or even if you see me out, because if I see you, I'm going to speak to you. I'm going to say, hey, what's up? How you been? Stuff like that. I'm very Southern. But when you're with yourself, by yourself, it's a different story. So for me, self-motivational books have been really helpful. Me making the journal and me also journaling has been really helpful. But let me be clear, God has been really helpful.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Let me be real clear. God has been really helpful. I had to learn how to set boundaries. So back in 2012, situation working home, I had hit, I guess I would say, rock bottom mentally, if that makes sense. Rock bottom mentally. Still had my job. Money was coming. I was actually a manager at the time. At the top of my career, this is what I want to do because I love people. I love motivating and helping people, and probably going to tell another story about work. But in my mind, I was about to explode. So I called my therapist because I did go to therapy. I was like, look, I don't know what to do. Okay, Verizon, they got this. I was just trying to figure it all out. So I called my therapist. I'm like, look, lady, if I go home, if I go to work, somebody gonna die.
Oh, wow.
I had a 9-month-old daughter. I couldn't go to jail.
Okay.
I couldn't go to hell either. So what do I need to do to figure out how I'm gonna take care of my baby? Because right now I can't even take care of myself.
Okay.
Somebody, I'm ready to explode. This is the edge of the edge, right?
Yeah.
She says, check in at Anchor Hospital. Anchor Hospital off Darby Road on the south side of Atlanta. And I go check in. I call my sister. I said, come and get my car. I got to do this for me. I got to do this for me. Right. I got to get these demons, because that's what it was. I got to get these demons off my back. And I stayed there for a week.
Okay.
Nobody really knows this story because I don't really share it. But in there, you see some other situation that are worse than yours.
Yeah.
So that's what got me to the middle, like, it's not that bad. Like I mentioned earlier, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
So I had to, go through the process of, okay, how do I set boundaries? Okay, how do I make sure that my daughter is straight? Because at the end of the day, once she was born, that was it.
Right.
You're in mother mode. You have no other choice but to find a way or make it. Shout out to Clark Atlanta University for the motto. But you have to figure it out. It's nothing else to do but figure it out. My sister used to tell me, you try to be perfect. And I did. I wanted to make sure that I had this certain image, but right now all the clothes off. I can't do that. I'm very energetic, but sometimes I have to step away and take a break. So there will be times throughout the year where you may not see me as much on social media.
You need that break.
I have to step away. And that's where I learned it at the Anchor Hospital. I learned that it's okay to reset.
Right.
It's okay to not be the Energizer Bunny sometimes. Sometimes let somebody be the Energizer Bunny for you.
Exactly.
I'm still trying to find it, but yeah, that was a very pivotal point from a low transition. That's where I started to, kind of try to climb back up.
Gotcha.
But it was a very low moment for me.
Gotcha. Well, I'm proud of you, one, for being able to take that step. Like I work in inpatient mental health, putting people in the hospital all the time for like 7 years, working with the Bradley Center. And I'll send a lot of people to Anchor and a lot of the hospitals up here in the Atlanta area. But, a lot of people, they don't want to go. They don't want to get the help. They, you have to 1013,
You're crazy when you go to the mental hospital.
That's what they say, but sometimes you are just like you and you just need that rest. You need that reset. Hell, I thought about going to check myself in about a week ago. So
you have to. And you got the insurance. Look, people on the show, listen. If you got the insurance and you feel like you're about to break down, go get some help.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to the Black community about this because we don't do it. It's not crazy. I'm telling you, it's not crazy. Go get the help. Sorry, I just had to say to the people.
No, that's definitely.
Go get some help. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. And it's a big stigma within our community. And, we don't even going to see a therapist, like let alone checking yourself into a hospital. But the thing is, I've seen other people have to do that for the same reasons that you've had to do it. Not because you were, crazy to use that terminology, but because we all go through trials and tribulations and things in our lives that can bring us to those low points. Right. And so I think it's a brave step, and I'm glad that you were able to honor that. Now we got to talk a little bit about this perfectionist thing. Where did that come from, and how we going to work through that?
I think for me, it was more of I have somebody watching me, as in my daughter. So, the saying, and I think now we're like the best of friends because she's a teenager, but the saying, they watch everything you do. And I just didn't want to mess up.
Gotcha.
And I had to realize it's crazy. I was talking to my sister and my cousin one day, and my sister even broke it down, and she's younger than me. And she broke down, it don't have to be perfect tomorrow. It does not have to be. They call me Mar. They take off the two. Mar, it don't have to be perfect. You're okay. You can mess up. It's good. You're good. You already taken care of. They had to be the reverse motivator, for me. So I think for me, it was more of me being a mother and me wanting to make sure I was showing the right example to my child.
Gotcha.
That's it. Everything else I didn't even care about. I'm going to be honest.
Okay. The therapist in me feels like it probably started before then. It just amplified.
It probably did. And it probably stemmed from corporate America. I know I had mentioned the incident at work. You got to kind of walk on eggshells after you get in trouble a little bit type of situation. You cheat. You got to walk on eggshells to make sure you make things. Right, for that to them. So it was the same thing. Not so much as trying to do something harmful to people. Let me say that I never try to hurt anybody on purpose. Let me say that on purpose. I never try to do that. That's nowhere near my heart. But I did things where could have actually put me in a bind or made me lose my job. I will say that. Done some things that could have made me lose my job. And it didn't stop with that. It also stemmed from people as well. Because when you work, you always have that one when they see that you're receivable of everybody else. Everybody loves Tomorrow, right? Everybody loves TJ. Troner. They call me by my first name. Troner is my first name. That's why you saw that. Thing. But everybody loves Troner because Troner always had this energy, right? And very motivational. Was still down for business. I just want to make sure. Let me figure out. I can work with you if I understand you. So I try to get to know everybody on their level to try to help them be the best they can be at what they're doing so they can move on. I was a supervisor of people who took calls on the phone. Yeah. And want my people to stay there. And even if they go above me, I have a supervisor, a guy that's a director at Cox now, a lady who owns a beauty supply store in Henry County. Like, I knew that was not your stopping point. It was a stepping stone to get you to your next level. So in leadership, that's what I do. I figure you out. Let's figure out what works best for you. Find this, tune it up, and then get you to the next level. You shouldn't be at the same level all the time. I took a toll back of that because once you start doing that, people start trying to find weaknesses and things and then take advantage of that. Right. So that kind of got me to that low point as well. And then once you get out of it, you like, I'm just going to do enough to work. Yep. I'm just here for a check. I don't even care no more. I'm just here for a check. Yeah. Listen. It don't even matter. Y'all tried to take me down. I'm still here. Right. I'm just here for the check. So I had that period where I was just there for a check. Let me navigate my way through. Let me do the easiest, whatever I can do. They put me back on. I put me back on the phones, and they put me back on the phones with the people that I was leadership over. Wow. So now you try to make me look like I'm Lord and low, knock me down. No problem. I applied somewhere else. I left. And ever since then, when I got that new job, I try to do everything. I move, whatever I need to do. I did not want to take calls with people that I was just managing. Right. They didn't send me back. We're going to send you back to your old position. They didn't do that. They left me right in that position. In most cases, to me personally, and I never asked the person, I just say, okay, cool, let me just do it. I got to feed my child. Yeah. I felt like you were trying to teach me a lesson. Because I was likable, because I was this person to let me know, hey, it don't matter if you up, we'll put you right back down where you need to go. Yeah. And people Shador Sanders, let's just be clear. Let's call a spade a spade. I'm not Shador by any means, hey, but I'm just saying that situation, kind of the same mental breakdown. People try to break you down mentally before they even get to the physical or anything else like that. So for that, that's where I went to the mental hospital. I had to rebuild myself. Gotcha. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to do what I got to do. And I start moving around to different positions. Not only was I moving around to different positions, I was making my network at the same time. Gotcha. So while I moved around to different positions, making my network, every position that I've had since then has been because somebody already knew my work ethic. They already knew what I could bring to the table. They knew what my table was before I even went into the interview room. So that's why I say it's always great to be a positive force or be a positive motivation to someone else, because you never know what that person may be above you next week. They can help pull you up. Yeah. They can help pull you up. So I teach that to my daughter. Look, don't be mean to nobody. If they doing something you don't agree with, then don't be over there with them. It's simple. Yeah. Go find your tribe. You and your tribe, do what you got to do. Because it's hard for kids now. Absolutely. It's very hard. Technology, yeah. I wish I could take it and I wish we could take technology and make it age appropriate. And what I mean by that is if they're at this age, they can only look at this.
That would be a great
age, they can only look at this. We can do that as parents to some extent. But once they're with their friends, once they're in the world, you can't really control what the world is going to do. So, it's kind of hard, but I think I've raised her, and I'll say me and my family, my village, have raised her well enough that she understands the rights and the wrongs. Will she do wrong? Probably. I did wrong. I was raised right. I did wrong. But I think she understands where she can come to. She has openness to come and talk to me, openness to go talk to her aunties, grandma, or whoever, where she won't be judged or say, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. We're just going to give her, okay, this is what we think is best, but you got to make your decision how you want to do it. Right. We're not going to be there all the time. So.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Well, you've definitely gone through a lot in life. Like even like you said on your job, you've gone through some ups and downs and things of that, but you've still been able to continue to rise and continue to grow and expand your network beyond the circumstances that you found yourself in. So I'm glad, that you've been able to rebuild yourself and just continue to move through life, and especially all the things that you do to give back. It really is a testament to just who you are as a person. But I want to shift gears a bit. You kind of covered some of this stuff already, I'm sure. But I want to know, how do you personally connect with the idea of being self-aware and fucked up?
So self-awareness, for me, I feel like self-awareness is common sense. And what I mean by that is, should I or shouldn't I? Would I or wouldn't I? So those are the type of things when you become self-aware, I guess I would say, it can kind of, rock a couple of people the wrong way. I also, as fucked up, I don't listen. And what I mean, not meaning that you're talking to me, I listen to you, but when it comes to me, I'm going to probably do what I want to do. That's probably one of the the fucked up pieces about me. I'm going to do it my way. I don't know if that's the Libra in me, or I don't know if that's just the me in me. But I feel like sometimes that can hurt or hinder relationships. I feel like and let me make sure when I say relationships, I'm meaning the people that are close to me.
Yeah.
I operate differently with the people that are close to me than the open world, because at the end of the day, it's so much I want the world to see. And then it's so much that people who really know me, they know exactly how it's going to go down.
Right.
But being self-aware, I think for me is what I've learned to do is take a step back. Look at the situation. Anything I do, and I tell anybody this, even at work, I have to think about London first. If it's is this gonna negatively impact my daughter, then I can't do it. If it's gonna be something where I can't do something for her, then I can't do it. For example, certain jobs that I take, I don't do them. Certain events that I can't go to because I have to do something for her. My self-awareness includes her. Everything I do, everything that I try to do. And don't get me wrong, before she was born, before I got into corporate America, I was a wildflower, baby. I was doing it all. I was doing it all. I'm at the club. I'm at the strip club. Strip clubs are my favorite. They still my favorite. I haven't been in a long time, but they're still my favorites to this day. Male or female, I don't care. But I had to pivot because now I have someone that's looking up. So that's kind of like where my self-awareness aligns. Again, the fucked up, not listening. My mouth is really bad. I'm not bad now because I'm interviewing with you. But sometimes what comes up comes out, right? And that can be offensive at times. Never mean any harm to anybody, but people interpret words. We look at social media every day. And sometimes when people say so, I'm like, I don't really think that. Probably because we used to jive, growing up in the 80s and 90s, we can we can take some licks because we got to get a lick back. It's so sensitive now. And sometimes I feel that words have different meanings. Let me say it that way. You may say something one way, and we could be saying the same exact thing, but people would interpret it differently. So even on my job, I work with people out of the Philippines and India, right? Mm-hmm. Two totally different worlds, two totally different cultures, but they all have to align on the same values for us to work together. So it's kind of like that when I look at the fucked up part, because everybody's going to take something different. They're going to take it different. I could say a post, the sky's orange. Somebody gonna call me a stupid ass bitch. But you know what I'm saying? But again, somebody may say, well, a sunset is kind of orange. That is really pretty, you know. But the sky's orange. So just thinking how I navigate between the two, I take a step back. Mm-hmm. Before I answer, before I analyze, before I do anything, I just try to take a step back and be like, okay, should I respond this way or should I not respond?
Sometimes that's the answer.
It's hard for a person who like to talk.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to just be quiet.
Yeah.
Just be quiet. So
gotcha.
That's how I deal with them both.
Gotcha. It makes perfect sense. Yeah. So how can people connect with you if they want to purchase items from your company, or if they want to get with your line dancing and get out there and pop their fans? Like, how can they connect with you?
We pop a fan, we pop a hoop-ahs, we pop everything. Okay, so if you want to follow my businesses, A Touch of Grace 2013, that's on IG. Our website is atouchofgrace.online, so ONLINE. Most of our items are on there. If you follow us on social media, you'll see all the events that we'll be at. Next Saturday, we'll be in Douglasville at the Maze Market. Very good event that we go to almost every year. And I'll make sure I get that information to you. But we like to do a lot of markets because it's a way, again, talking about networking and connection. He's like the farmer. You get all your fresh eggs, you get all your other stuff from them, the plants and everything. So they're very livestock driven. I do it with my cousin. She's actually a baker. So the best way to get in contact with us would be the A Touch of Grace 2013 on Instagram. Get in line. That's our new baby. I love to dance. Again, I've been dancing since I was 3 years old, but Get in Line Dance Code has a Facebook page. And then you can also follow me, Tomorrow Jenkins, straight up and down. Oh, it's two of us. It's two of us on Facebook, Tomorrow Jenkins. The other one was married into Tomorrow Jenkins, but I'm the original, right?
Okay.
But yeah, it's two of us on Facebook, but it's a picture of my daughter and I, and you can connect with me there. I'm very friendly. So if you reach out to me, you need anything, I do not mind. If I have the connection, I'm gonna connect you with it. If I don't, I'm gonna find a connection for you. But yeah, most social media I do on Facebook because they allow you to have the pages and things like that. And then XO London as well, with my daughter's business. That's on Facebook. We have a combined page there. I'm trying to think what else. But yeah, if y'all you need us to come help with the dancing, we don't mind. You can book us. We have dance classes in Hogansville. And Wild Leap in LaGrange. We just started at Wild Leap in LaGrange. So I'll be posting dates. If you do follow me, I'll be posting dates and times of everything on my social media. So any one of them, just click it, message me, and we can make something happen.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I definitely appreciate it. Guys, please make sure that you connect with Tomorrow. All the information of how you can connect with her will be in the description of this episode. Also, be sure to follow me, Tree the LPC, on all social media platforms under the handle Tree the LPC. Until next time, be safe, be well, and make sure that you take care of your mental health.